The fake date. What happens when a fake date turns into real feelings? A loud cheer erupted in the cafeteria as the school announced the upcoming autumn dance. Everyone was pairing up quickly, but I was stuck without a date. My classmates whispered about the top guys in school, but none of them noticed me, or so I thought. Just as I was resigning myself to a lonely night of snacks and awkward stares, Jake, my rival in every academic debate, approached me with a shocking proposal. "I need a fake date," he said casually, his sharp eyes scanning my face, "and I think you're perfect for it." I nearly choked on my drink. Jake, the guy who had spent the last 2 months outshining me in every class, humiliating me in debates, and making my life slightly miserable? Now he wanted to team up and pretend we were a couple. He smirked as I crossed my arms, skeptical. "I don't know why you need me, or why I should agree," I replied. "It's simple," he said. "You help me look like I have someone at the dance, and I help you avoid the pity dates and awkward questions. Deal?" I hesitated, my mind racing. I had no better options, and honestly, a fake date with him might be interesting. We shook hands, sealing our ridiculous agreement. The first rule was clear. We had to act like a real couple around everyone. No slips, no hints of sarcasm. The second rule? Absolutely no feelings. But as I stared into his challenging gaze, I couldn't help feeling that this arrangement was going to test my patience and my heart in ways I couldn't yet imagine. We started rehearsing our couple behavior immediately. Holding hands, casual touches, shared laughter, all forced but terrifyingly close. Each accidental brush of his fingers sent sparks I didn't want to admit to. He teased me relentlessly, pointing out how awkward I was at faking smiles, and I retaliated with snarky remarks that somehow made him laugh more than he should have. By the end of the day, we were exhausted but a little closer. I realized that pretending to be his date required not just acting skills but also learning to read his subtle expressions. It was strange, irritating, and utterly our classmates had started noticing something was changing between our behavior. And neither of us wanted to acknowledge it. Even our teachers raised an eyebrow. Comment below. Would you go on a fake date? I had underestimated how convincing our act was. Jake's charm was even more potent. When directed at me, I couldn't decide if I wanted to squirm under the attention or enjoy it. Jake, of course, remained infuriatingly calm. "People think we're a real couple now," he said casually. My stomach sank, realizing that the lines between fake and real were beginning to blur. Every time he smiled at me, I felt something fluttering in my chest, something I wasn't supposed to feel. During lunch, a sudden push in the hallway sent me stumbling into him. Our faces were inches apart and my heart raced uncontrollably. "Careful," he whispered, but his voice had a teasing warmth I didn't expect. My thoughts spiraled. Was this part of our act or something else entirely? I stepped back, trying to regain composure, but he reached for my hand just as a group of classmates walked past. "Keep it together," he muttered, smirking. That smirk was dangerous. It made me forget all the rules, all the agreements, and everything I told myself about keeping my feelings locked away. Finally, the night of the autumn dance arrived. Jake handed me a single red rose accompanied by a sly grin. Ready to make everyone jealous? I forced a smile, though my nerves were a tangled mess of anticipation and anxiety. The thought of being in his presence all night made my heart race in ways I couldn't explain. Walking into the gym, the glittering lights reflected on our faces. Our act began immediately, hand in hand, laughter and subtle touches. The reactions of our classmates were everything Jake had promised. But I couldn't ignore the strange warmth spreading inside me every time he looked at me with those piercing eyes. The music changed, and Jake extended his hand with a teasing bow. "May I have this dance?" My pulse skipped, and I tried to focus on the act. But as we swayed to the rhythm, I felt the difference between pretending and reality. Each step, each touch, each whisper was becoming dangerously real. I glanced up at him, searching for the usual arrogance, but found only a flicker of vulnerability I had never seen. It was confusing, frustrating, and thrilling The fake date was no longer just a performance, it was something more. Later on the balcony, we caught our breath away from prying eyes. "You're better at this than I thought," he admitted quietly. I wanted to laugh at his attempt at sincerity, but found myself too mesmerized. I couldn't tell if he was confessing feelings or just complimenting our act. "I don't know what's happening," I whispered. "I thought this was all fake." He stepped closer, his hand brushing mine. "Maybe Fig started feeling a little too real," he murmured. My heart pounded. The line between pretend and truth had dissolved completely. Not everyone was happy about our couple status. A certain classmate, clearly jealous, started spreading rumors and trying to sabotage us. Every whisper, every glance made me nervous, and I realized how much I cared about protecting what we had, even if it started as a lie. Jake, predictably, was unbothered on the outside, but the way he clenched his jaw whenever someone said my name told me he cared more than he wanted to admit. The protective side of him was magnetic, and I couldn't deny my growing feelings for him. Despite every warning in my mind, during a quiet moment alone, we laughed at something silly he said. For the first time, we weren't pretending. The smiles, the warmth, the closeness, it was all real. "I like you," he confessed, almost shyly. My heart skipped a beat, relief and excitement flooding me. I laughed nervously, trying to play it cool, but the truth was obvious. I liked him too, more than I should, more than I wanted to admit. The fake date had evolved into a real connection neither of us could ignore. By the end of the dance, I knew there was no turning back. Jake took my hand, eyes serious this time. "I don't want this to be fake anymore," he said. "I like you for real." I felt the tension release from my chest as I nodded. Words failing me. The gym lights twinkled around us as we shared our first real kiss, the cheers of classmates fading into background noise. Our fake date had transformed into something genuine, and for the first time, I didn't care about appearances or rumors, I only cared about him. The next morning, rumors swirled, but we ignored them, walking side by side with confidence. Our classmates' whispers didn't matter. What mattered was the truth between us. The fake date had ended, but what began in its place was far more exciting. I looked at Jake, smiling softly. "I guess some lies lead to the best truths," I said. He grinned, squeezing my hand. "The best ones," he replied. And just like that, our story, one that started as a simple ruse, blossomed into something real, unforgettable, and entirely ours.